Our parents had the Kennedys, and we have the Kardashians. Welcome, blessed babies and celestial sweeties. Today, we are going into overdrive as we arrive in Calabasas, California. Rumor has it that Kris Jenner is actually working around the clock to switch the spelling of Calabasas with a K instead of with a C. I'm kidding, of course, but the cosmic genealogy we're about to map is no joke. At long last, today we are breaking down the Kardashian-Jenner family tree astrologically. So please stand by as we divulge every family member and significant other zodiac sign to understand the who, the what, the where, the why, and the how of this American dynasty. We have quips. Which Kardashian would you party with? Kris. And we have clips.
Bible, I want my iPad, my pen, and my keyboard back.
So stay tuned for this iconic episode. Bible.
Bible.
All right, my little cutie patooties, let us get started with the one and only Kris Jenner. Kris Jenner is a Scorpio sun, Cancer moon, Virgo rising. So I have often described Scorpio as like Darth Vader energy. It's hidden beneath a dark and mysterious cloak. Scorpio is the elusive puppet master who makes money moves behind the scenes. And if there's one thing we know about this family, it's that the devil works hard, but Kris Jenner works harder. Apparently, she wakes up every day at 4:30 a.m. or something absolutely wild like that. Kris Jenner is the modern day momager every multi-billion-dollar family really needs. And with the moon in Cancer, the planet and placement most closely associated with themes relating to motherhood, her role as matriarch-mogul was clearly written in the stars.
When I first heard about Kim's tape, as her mother, I wanted to kill her. But as her manager, I knew that I had a job to do.
Next up, Robert Kardashian. Robert Kardashian was a Pisces sun, Aquarius moon, and Capricorn rising. The Kardashian kids, and that's kids with a K, of course, were fathered by Robert Kardashian, an extremely successful celebrity attorney who actually worked on O.J. Simpson's defense team. Although Robert passed away in 2003, way before Keeping Up with the Kardashians made his family so very famous, we know that based on his big three, Pisces sun, Aquarius moon, Capricorn rising, that he was no doubt a very intense, perhaps very otherworldly presence. I'm sure that even though he's no longer here in physical form, he continues to have a strong influence and impact on his family. And to be quite earnest, I'm sure he's actually very, very proud of what his family has accomplished. The firstborn, Kourtney Kardashian, is an Aries sun, Capricorn moon, and Pisces rising. Aries are fire signs, known for their incredible zero approach to life. But Kourtney's sharp, sarcastic tongue is certainly a byproduct of her earthy Capricorn moon, while her dreamy Pisces rising gives her this sort of soft and ethereal aura. I mean, she's not a mermaid. So before her recent universally shipped engagement and her even more recent 2 a.m. Vegas marriage to Travis Barker, a Scorpio sun, Aries moon, Cancer rising, that lit up the internet and made us believe in love yet again. She was in a long relationship with Scott Disick, a Gemini sun, Sagittarius moon. I would imagine that her dynamic with Scott appealed to her mutable Pisces rising nature, but I can't imagine that she ever felt particularly safe or anchored in that dynamic. Travis's chart, on the other hand, is really grounded through its fixed and cardinal energy, which is a much better fit for our girl Kourt.
Why are you so these days? Just, I'm bored.
Next in line is Miss Kimberly Kardashian, a Libra sun, Pisces moon, and Sagittarius rising. Like her sister, Kourtney, Kim's sun sign is a cardinal sign, meaning it is defined through innovation and leadership and forward motion. As a Libra, however, Kim is really all about her relationships. Balance, harmony, and partnerships are absolutely essential, which I guess explains why she's been linked to so many people over the years. Real quick, just for all my fellow astro nerds, edification, Reggie Bush is a Pisces, Damon Thomas is a Sag, Kris Humphries, and that's Kris with a K, which is actually the same spelling as her mom, which is just unbelievable, an Aquarius. Kanye West, a Gemini, and her current beau, Pete Davidson, or as I like to call him, PDD, is a Scorpio. So in classic air sign fashion, Kim clearly doesn't have an astrological type. She's open-minded, she runs the gambit. She's not afraid to try something new, and maybe that's inspiring. After all, each person has every single sign represented in their birth chart, so one could argue that each one of these relationships is actually speaking to a different dimension of her personality. Cool, I'm here for it.
I'm too tired for this.
After Kim is Khloe, a Cancer sun, Gemini moon, and Aquarius rising. Like her sisters, Khloe's sun is a cardinal sign, which is very much inspired by initiation and action. But as an interesting mix of water and air, Khloe can actually switch back and forth between being super, super sensitive and super, super detached. And I think that we've seen this play out quite literally over the years. Khloe has been both very emotional.
I'm not just a TV show.
As well as very, I don't give a listen. Maybe that explains her romantic connections. Lamar Odom is a Scorpio sun and Gemini moon, and Tristan Thompson is a Pisces sun and Aquarius moon. And I'm kind of intrigued by this because Khloe's two most public relationships share the same water, sun, and air moon signature that she has in her chart. Maybe this is why, from an outside perspective, we can't really figure out how these relationships work, because they're these sort of strange, mystical mirrors of self. How very fascinating. And finally, the youngest, and certainly the most private of the Kardashians is Rob, the only BB boy, and the only one that doesn't start with a K. A Pisces sun, like his father, Robert, Rob is a Libra moon and Aquarius rising. Interestingly, this is a similar configuration that Khloe has in her chart. So I would imagine that growing up, there was a special bond between Khloe and Rob. Perhaps they share an understanding of their inner workings. Or maybe they drive each other absolutely crazy because they see themselves reflected in one another. Either way, we know that Rob is not as interested in living a life in front of the camera, and that's camera with a K. And as a highly sensitive Pisces sun, we gotta respect that boundary. Next up is Caitlyn Jenner, ruler of the Jenner clan, and by no surprise, another Scorpio. This trailblazer reflects her daring Scorpio sun, her unconventional Aquarius moon, and doubles down on that Scorpio energy with a Scorpio rising through her Olympic gold medal winning athleticism and her very long career in television and film. We love to see it. And from this, there is the next generation of babies. And although they don't share the Kardashian last name, Kendall and Kylie both have first names that begin with the letter K. And at the end of the K, at the end of the day, that's what matters most. Kendall Jenner is a Scorpio sun, Aries moon, and Aries rising. Taking after both of her parents, who are, in case you forgot, both Scorpio suns, Kendall continues her family legacy as an intense, secretive, mysterious powerhouse. In traditional astrology, Mars was the ruler of Scorpio, and in both modern and traditional astrology, Mars rules Aries. So basically, Kendall is a whole lot of Mars energy, and I would not want to see her angry.
No, you can't. You can come to the after party. You can't come.
Although Kendall is much more private about her relationships than some of her other sisters, we know that she's been linked to Aquarius Harry Styles, Virgo Nick Jonas, and is currently in a relationship with Scorpio Devin Booker. As the only sibling without children of her own, I had to wonder, will these two Scorpios team up and spawn just as their Scorpio parents did 26 years ago? Well, we will have to wait and see. And last, but certainly not least, we have Kylie. It's hard to believe, but I remember many years ago looking at Kylie's chart and noticing she was the only Leo sun in her family and wondering when she was going to steal the throne. That was obviously a very long time ago, and I have aged myself because Kylie's been the reigning queen of cosmetics with a K for a very, very long time. And looking at her chart, it's no surprise. She is a Leo sun, Capricorn rising with a Scorpio moon, which means she wants to be the queen. She's going to work extremely hard to make that happen, and by any means necessary, in that exact order.
I can't wait. This is gonna be so big.
Once upon a time, a young Kylie was linked to Tyga, a Scorpio. But when that relationship ended, she linked up with Travis Scott, a Taurus, which happens to be the opposite of Scorpio because astrology is perfect. They have 2 BBs together, and even though their relationship has waxed and waned like the moon, which I guess is kind of a theme here in a lot of relationships, it's okay. We can only imagine what the future holds for this very wealthy fixed sign couple. Okay, Astro Cuties, it's time for everyone's favorite segment called Q&A, baby. Can a birth chart change over time? There are certain techniques that you could use in astrology to see how a birth chart evolves over time. These are called progressions. So the progress chart is the chart as it continues to unfold over the years. So yes, according to that technique and tradition, a birth chart can change over time. However, the natal chart, the birth chart based on where you were born, the time, date, and location, is static, it's fixed, it's not going anywhere. Tell me about the astrology of finances. What an interesting cue. Were you inspired by our Kardashian Jenner episode to ask this cue? Because you would have good reason to be, since they are bees, billionaires. They have a lot of money. As astrology relates to finances, if you look at your birth chart, you will notice that the 2nd and 8th house are connected. They're on the same axis, and the 2nd house is about your personal finances. The 8th house is about other people's money. So this is investments, it's inheritance, it's the way that you receive outside financial and monetary gifts. So it is across the 2nd and 8th house that we discuss finances from an astrological POV. Cardinal energy is the beginning of something new. You'll notice that with the cardinal signs, which are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, they all occur at the very beginning of the seasons. So they're all about sort of bringing in this new energy, bringing in this new momentum. Each one has a very different way of approaching it, but they are all linked through this initiation, through wanting to start something new. So there you have it, folks. The Kardashian Jenners rule the world, and TBH, we love to see it because we have to see it because they are absolutely everywhere. So tune in next week for another episode of Celebrity Astrology Investigation. Comment below, let me know who you want to talk about next, and keep your eye, this one, on the stars. Bye.
Never go against the family.
Never go against the family.
Did you come here to have a reprieve from Kardashian content? Too bad. We have a whole episode about them.